And of course, Father expects you to be the driver, to be the delivery boy, and to be everything in Father's tradition. You have to set out your own foundation.
국민학교 선생은 국민학교 박사를 가져서 국민학교 책을 읽어야 된다고. 몇 번씩 읽어야 된다고. 마찬가지야. 국민학교 선생들은 국민학교 학생 아버지가 돼야 돼. 마찬가지야.
Same way, to some of you, if you are going to teach grammar school, even if you are PhD, you have to study grammar school book again, all over again, to teach them. If you are UTS and got all that high degree,
no matter how famous UTS president member, you have to learn that how can drive the truck. Then normally, teacher is going normal, not informal.
That's quite normal way that they have to come down and drive the truck because you want to teach how to drive the truck to new members.
Reverend 누구잖아? Reverend made ocean church. Himself leading the ocean church.
The fleet and fishing vessel.
Right on the boat, many years, teaching, learn everything. After teaching, catching tuna. Same thing. Same. Many new members need some kind of leader instead of me. Father is alone, only one. Cannot separate. Many people is like me. I know well, but only one part. Only one part. So the many members want to separate one body, many part. No, cannot. Can. So that how can gravity? Many as like me. That is teaching, training, display, everything.
Since Father cannot
so
divide
now
himself.
You are hearing Father's words and understanding now. Yes? Yeah, we have to work in following the Father's words. Thinking in your mind. Is it right?
Yes. That's why we are grafted to Father.
So that
each and every one of us become like Father.
Many times, scolding many times, kick out, train, everything. After making it just like a standard. In this time, your turn. Your turn. Already learned everything. You have to start from now. Father's way, following activity. I think so. I think so. How are you?
Yes.
So they are commenting now. Do you understand?
Yes.
내가 영어를 하고 이거는 정말 안 배우기 때문에 영어를 안 하려고 해서 답답해서 이거 하고 있다고. 서양을 가봐보니까 자꾸 어디로 가니까. 모르면 가만히 있겠네.
But when Father does speak English and even this way and do all the time to talk like that, then you would not learn Korean. So I've been translating, and the direction Father was going to go, and the translation was always a difference. So Father had to straighten that line out. If Father didn't know a word of English, then Father could tolerate it. But knowing as much English as Father does, just the Father's Father. Just kind of.
내가 영어를 배워서 너나 그러면 선생님이 여기 미국 올 때보다 너도 젊잖아. 이건 나 자식들.
So you're much younger than the age when Father came here. So for you to speak as much Father speaks English, you speak Korean as much Korean as Father speaks English. You ought to do that. That's a minimum line.
Which one more difficult from learning that English language? Your situation, Father's situation. Huh?
Well, to answer that, whose situation is worse? Father's situation or your situation?
That's true. Now Father is retired and is able to forget. Imagination.
Memory.
Really easy. You think about afternoon, find that by conscious many vocabulary. So that in the morning, everything so complicated, every word. One more time that read again. This. After that, next day, all same way. That's true. For the start, the constitution. In English. English that's not good language. 그러면 한국말은 봐.
English language is not that good good language. It's not religious language anyway, at least. At least. Korean language, by far, how would you say, is a rich language. There's no question about that.
영어로서는 한국말을 참 편한 못할 말이 얼마나 많은지 모르겠어. 그렇게 한국말이 섬세하다.
To compare the adjectives and descriptions, there are many ways Korean language can describe, but English can only crudely describe.
그 영어를 가진 민족이 이런 말을 가지고 어떻게 세계를 지배했나 생각하는 거예요.
Often, father comes to wonder how, with this language,
Dislike language.
the language such as that, such as English, they came to kind of dominate the thought of the world. It just is incredible.
그건 한국말은 세계 몇십 번 지배하고 남아.
If Korean language had a chance to do the same thing as English language, they would have done 10 times over the achievements English language.
한국 사람 머리 좋다는 것은 랭귀지가 그렇게 머리 좋다. 벌써 말한 벌써 하나 둘 셋 넷 다섯 여섯 추리할 수 있는 내용을.
And you can understand that even with the proof of the Korean people, the Korean language, the Korean language understands so many things, embraces so many. When in Korean language, when you hear one thing, then you can apply that to 5 different things at the same time. You can deduce out of that automatically without trying, without. English, it's one after another, in that order.
한마디 들으면서 다섯 여섯을 연상하는데 영어는 한마디 들으면 연상하지 못했다.
When you listen to the English, association is limited. Korean association is rather automatic. It forms a group of thought, or the 4 scenes of thought, whereas English is not that way. Precise, but not overall view.
한국말 배우는 거 한국말을 하면 말이야 발음도 자기 한국 사람들이 발음 잘하지. 선생님이 지금 60 넘어가지고 발음 배운 사람이 이게 뭐 엉망진창할 텐데 말이야.
Look at father, the speaker of the English language. Father's pronunciation in English and accent stresses, they are all rather well, isn't it?
Yes. 내가 쓰질 않아서 그렇지. 잘하면 내가 인터넷은 너 따라갈 수 있다.
Compared to having learned English at such age and such a short time and such non-usage, father's pronunciation is very correct, almost perfect.
Hello, imperfect.
One step down, perfect. But the Koreans, by and large, pronounce close to the indigenous people, close to the original English speaker. It's because the Korean language has that tone, that element of pronunciation in Korean language.
그래서 지금 우리 축복가정 아들은 한국말 안 배우면 안 되겠다.
So especially when the child, when you give birth to your own children, make sure that they learn English, the Korean as well as English, because that will be their asset.
한국말은 24개, 26개. 이건 30분이 넘는다, 26개. 과학적으로 되기 때문에 처음에 그것만 하면 다 붙어볼 수 있다고.
We speak of science and systematic. Korean language just tops them all. Like it has only 24 characters. It's a combination of 24 characters which spell out the meaning.
그건 누구나 30분 배우는 누구나.
The basics of that, anyone, any layman, any beginner can master that in 30 minutes, a half an hour. At least they can understand it. Of course, it takes practice, but at least they can understand basics of it. Half an hour. There's no language like that. If you follow that Actually, then within 3 days you can start reading. Of course, you won't know what you're reading, but you still can read pronounce correctly. True. Like a German language, like German. No exception.
그 전부 다 많은 거야. 영어는 그거 전부 다뭐 인토네이션을 그 말이야. 그저 프로나운스 얼마나 힘들어.
The pronunciation, the variety, the unruliness. How to say that? It really is difficult to learn English because there's so much variety, so much deviation.
너 한국말 공부하는 사람
Not so in Korean.
가외지만 한번 물어보자. 한국말 공부하는 사람 들어보자.
Since father is a little bit the offside, let's continue to the moment. Those who are actively learning Korean language, raise your hands.
그 가외 사람이야.
What about other people? You had already given up?
선생님 가는 천국 안 가서?
You're not going to the same heaven father is going? Yes, you are. Then
저들에서는 영어 안 쓴다.
then in the spirit world we don't use English.
하나님의 명령에서 못 쓰게 돼 있다.
And God's order, it's forbidden.
너들 언어를 해보지 사람이 두 나라 말 쓰고 앉았다 한 나라 말 쓰게 됐지. 얼마나 힘들어.
And in the original world, it's not bilingual. The original world is the one language.
이거 뻐꾸새나 참새 말이 전부 다 달라?
Like the birds speak different language,
개 짖는 것도 달라? 소 짖는 것도 달라?
but dogs and cows. Do you think the European cows speak different language than the Korean cows?
그러니까 하나님이 참 한국 자가 참 세계적이야. 참 그 한국 명절 한국은 갖고 있지 않지만 이 말이 종교적이고 참 차원 높은 말이기 때문에 이 말 때문에 한국을 끝날에 세우지 않나 생각 선생님 그러세요.
Father even go to extreme and not that extreme in fact. In that strip the Korean off. What do they have? Nothing, but the language. This language is so magnificent that God chose Korea as his base nation because of this language. Father even think like that.
그 하나님도 한국말을 그 계속적이고 세계 대표로 추천할 수 있는 말을 생각하기 때문에 그 한국말하는 레브런을 택하지 않았냐.
And that has very much to do how God came to choose Father Reverend Moon for the mission.
한국말이
Because
전문적으로 연구해본 지혜니까
because God first studied all different
제일
languages.
좋아하는 하나님이 한국말을 좋다고 생각하니까 한국말 쓰는 레브런을 찾아오지 않았나.
And analyzed it and used it, considered all the implication and get the best grade. In other words, at the conclusion, it passed the rigid test of God.
너들 빨간 거 여기서는 레드하면 다야 레드. 그 레드를 하거든 한마디면 한국말은 뭐 한 수십 가지 들 거라.
You say red, around that red, maybe you have only a few. But Korea, around red, maybe there are 30 different way of saying red.
그 너들 그 어떻게 알겠어? 그래서 한국 사람 착한다.
You see, so when you have to ponder and wonder, the Korean people just like that. He knows. Thanks to language. Nothing else. Thanks to language.
바람 부는데도 전부 다 표현이 뭐 수십 가지 전부 다 그렇다.
Like the breeze, the wind blows. There are dozens of literally dozens and dozens of expression to describe.
그렇기 때문에 앞으로 시 같은 것은 한국말 앞으로 시인이 나도 한국말 가운데서 날 것이다.
So of course naturally this has tremendous edge on the poetry. So the greatest poets in the future will be born out of Korea using the Korean language. This is what Father.
종교 지도자도
Until now they've been
한국말이 그렇기
oppressed so
때문에
much.
그 가서 기도하더라도 저를 기도할
And when you
하나님이 모든 세계 사람 말 같은 기도를 하더라도 말이야 내용을 해가지고도 한국의 레브런문이 기도하는 내용을 기도하다 주고 있어. 왜? 랭귀지. 너무 참 섬세하고 묘하더라고.
And God hears all the prayers of all languages. And Father has reason to believe that. That God listens to Father's prayer the better, because he likes that better, because it sounds better.
Organization, structure better, everything better. Father the first one, everything first one. King of king, everything.
King of languages.
Everything. Including the language. 그래서 한국말 배우라.
So Father has been encouraging, learn Korean. The different world will be unfolded.
연기 가서 내가 연기 갈 때 대박 시끄럽다. 어느 갓나 자식 들어서 너 말 배워가지고 살았어. 어떡하냐?
Of course, when Father sees you see Father in the spirit world, the first thing Father will ask will be that. Did you or didn't?
저 가서 불러마다 그래. 사탕 시켜가지고 말 불러내라.
Those who have been most lazy, then a Father will send them maybe to the closest to the hell. And you retrain there. Speak with the Satan.
네, 사탄이가 교육하면 얼마나 있습니까?
And let the Satan teach you.
서영 남모탄들 지금까지 살아있는 데 얼마나 많이 했어. 미국 와서도 가만히 있으면 뭐 무력한 사나이 같았으면 내가 욕을 안 먹고 감옥에 갈뭐 연대 나갔나? 유력하고 유력하니까 저 몸을 지추면 미국이 왔다 갔다 하니까 문제 되겠지. 그렇지?
Think how much Father did. And that's largely due to thanks to the Korean language too. But if Father was not so capable, then came to here in America, which is it's a heaven of mediocrity, America. So not greater than other people, not lesser than other people, just the average. Everybody will love you, welcome you, right? The Father will never be persecuted. But Father thought about the destiny of history, about the happiness history, all these. And then Father had to do drastically something. And he was able to do that pretty well. That's why Father has been persecuted, called a name, jealous, the prey of the superior feeling, or whatever you call that. Father got that. Mainly because maybe Father is capable. If Father was mediocre, I had to eat 3 meals a day,
American people
would have just loved him and say nice things once in a while. But we got the standard. We have to achieve the standard.
이제 그러면 이제
제가 그 아버님 지시놓고 좀 NCC에서 시간 나면 좀 조심하겠습니다.
그러니까 이제 말 났으니 한국말 배워가 다시 공부하는 않는 것들은 공부하는 손들어 보라.
So now that Father came to this language point, those will redetermine yourself. Even though it may be difficult. Father, somehow I will learn Korean language. Once more, you raise your hand.
Thank you. 내가 이제 한국 가 있을 때 말이야. 나 이제 한 70쯤 되겠는데 말이야. 자기 나라 말도 떨면는데 그때 일본 나라는 그거 듣기가 얼마나 고백할 것이고 말이야. 영어를 하면 얼마나 입술이 때문에 얼마나 힘들겠네 얘기야. 그때 선생님 앞에 나타나가지고 노랑머리요, 깜당머리 뭐 이거 파란 눈 한번 붙여가서 중국 사람 무슨 뭐 세갑 사람 가지고 아버님 말씀 뭐 들으면서 좋아하고 그걸 볼 때 내가 고생한 보람이 있구만. 이거 세계로 돌아다니면서 욕을 먹고 감옥 생활을 배려했지만은 이걸 볼 때 그때 보람을 느껴보게 되는 거야. 그래서
You look at different way. Let's look at this way. Let's say Father will get 70 years of age. Father will for sure, won't he?
Yes.
When Father gets 70 years of age, and beyond that, the oral or the skill, how to say, you simply cannot speak as well as you once spoke while you were young. There's a drawl, there's a muscle, even his own mother tongue. Let alone at the time when Father was forced to speak, compelled to speak Japanese language at that, and English at that. How awkward would Father feel himself, and those who listen to Father would feel? Not Father speaking in his young age, but then Father speaking in the old age. Not the Korean language itself, but other languages. So at that time, you not making Father in that awkward position.
영어라서 너들 얘기하는 너들 얼마나 그걸 듣게 하고 봐.
How awkward you will feel. But how about you speak to Father in fluent Korean and kind of help him speak Korean because you're so young. Then the Father, even though Father came here and went through a lot of difficulties and a lot of hard works and etc. and all this, the painful memories in the past, but look at you speaking such a fine Korean 10 years from now on, then Father would really feel that his effort would be rewarded. At that time, father feels very important. How would father feel inside? At the time when father saw you speak fluent Korean to father, with tears perhaps in your eyes, then father would feel like to forgive all of the Americans who have done impossible things while father was here in this country. At that time, father would feel very much like forgiving all that's past 10 years ago, and just forgive and be consoled by the fluent Korean you speak, and express thanks to father at the time.
한국 사람같이 복을 주소. 그럴 수 있다. 그 싫어?
Then father would say, "Oh God, please give them the blessing the same way as you would give blessing to all Koreans."
하나님은 왜 그래? 왜 너 반대 바꾸다 그러는데 왜 그래? 한국말을 하니까 한국 사람 3분의 1은 한국 사람 아니에요. 그게 가능하다.
Then father can really use an excuse to God, and they say, God would say, "No, they're not even Korean." They say they're not Korean, but father, they speak like Korean, don't they? So let's give them a 30% credit. And that's very possible.
영계가도 그렇다고. 영계가도 너들이 영계가도 말이야. 한국에서 말을 배워가지고 내가 얼마나 그런 생각. 많은 한국에서 말 먹고 내가 이렇게 가지고 얘기했는데 말 먹고 그래서 귀찮다.
And in the spirit world, if you are ever trying to communicate with the father, some of the complicated things in English, father would not even begin to listen to you. Father would say, "Father just won't accept that." But if you are trying,
At the time I said, I don't want to hear your voice. That is not the viewpoint of divine principle. That is not viewpoint of divine principle. Is it right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So that you learn. You don't learn Korean. No. Don't learn Korean. This is America. 알았어요. God, think about it. Learn the Korean. This is heaven. Come on. Heaven on the earth. Which position do you admire? Second or first one? This is America. This is America. Most great country. God, look down. 이것은 너무 great country. Heaven. 이거 한국말을 배우러 벌써 세계인데 한국말을 배운다는 것은 아시아 서양 사람이 아시아 통정말을 배우는 벌써 세계 사람이 되는 말이에요.
you have been thinking like a cosmopolitan, the world people, not just American, not just Oriental, but then world person, right? Cosmopolitan, whatever that means anyway. The world person.
world person. 일본 나라가 선진국이 아니고 제일 적만 한국말, 후진국 한국말, 그야 제일 높은 사람들이 그 세계 사람이 알고 있는 거예요.
English is of course this is a representative of a Western language. Let's say that's a best language. You say.
American people.
American
people is the first nation all over the world.
First-rate nation around the world.
Korean is a small country. Comparing the Eastern modernizing country. Small country. High people learning that small country language. That is cosmopolitan. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Father, the highest
So that I instead of here, America, you have to learn the Korean. What? I have to make cosmopolitan.
Because Father wanted you to make the world person, not just the American or not just the Korean. Father urged this for Americans to learn language, the Korean language, which is today the least, world acceptance. So that one day you will become a world person.
How about that? 자 이제 정신대가 오늘은 말이야. 이제는 말이야. 트럭으로 사가지고 이제 달리할 텐데 한번 해볼래?
So now we are about to buy many trucks. In fact, a lot of trucks, and then we better start running,
자,
delivering.
여러분이
Would you like to do that?
지난날 얘기할 거야. 경도에서 우리가 저희 15만 대 430명 덜사고 덜사 선걸 두고 싸웠다. 이놈을 때려야 돼.
Not long ago, a few years ago, in Kyoto, in Kyoto, Japan, we in election we fought against 150,000 opponent. We had only 420 people, 430 people.
얼마 몇 대야 이게?
So by ratio, what's the odds? I mean, 1 to how many? 1 to maybe 5,000 people, right?
그런 싸움을 하는 거예요. 그래서 어떤 결정을 했냐면 말이야. 한 사람은 평균 300집 이상이고, 그 다음에 갈등은 게 당신 공산당 작전에서는 말을 스포브 나 아무데서 왔어. 그럼 당신 공산당이요? 아니야. 그럼 공산당 좋아하오? 아니다. 그러면 공산당 선거하는데 잠깐 간단하다. 몇 초 이내에 선택한다. 공산당이요? 아니요. 그럼 일본이 망하기를 바래요? 아니. 그러려면 공산당은 당원 선언하면 돼. 우리가 추천하는 일본을 위하고 공산당 망치 반대 추천하는. 그걸 미리 한번 쑥 300집을 가서 학문에서 가르쳐주는 거야. 그 다음에 내려실 생활이 올 것이요. 매일 들린다는 거 가지고 여보 언제가 문제 누구요? 어저께 왔던 내가 몇 시에 온다고 했으니 그 사람 왔어요. 알았죠? 네. 그래 뛰는 거야. 뛰는 거야. 알았죠? 네, 알았죠? 일주일 이내에 다 한 사람이 1,300거 정도 거절했다.
It actually took place. They are the one who were pushing the opponent. There was a number of 150,000 people working for the election of that person. Whereas the person we are wanting him to be elected, we have only 430 people. So they formulated a very basic formula. Said only three questions. Since they don't, they have to run constantly on the run. There was only couple of weeks left until the election day, and they haven't even begun campaign yet. So the first day campaign, they said, knock on the door and say, do you like a communist? Are you a communist? First they asked. No, I'm not. He would say, do you like communist? No, I don't. They said, well then you should not vote him. We give the picture. You should not vote him. You should vote him. The one we are pushing.
Thank you.
And we kept on going. Each 400 people.
내가 지금 몇 시에 왔다. 생활하고 있어.
And somehow, when this was progressing, he said, "Ask, okay, I'll be back. I'll be back next morning, early in the morning." What can he say? Yes, he'll say. So it meant early. So we really meant early in the morning, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. Where everybody's asleep. Of course, it's out of common sense. But we bang on the door, and they ask who we are, and I said, it's I. I promised to come early in the morning. And today is election day. Do you understand what I mean? That's the person that you want to vote.
그래가지고 한 일주일만에 먼저 1,300에서 문 두드리고 알죠? 하면 예 매일 온다고 그랬으니까 매일 온다고 해서 뛰는 거야.
So they bang, and then they say what they can say. Yeah, they say yes. Just get rid of them. Yes. So you go to the next and next in that fashion.
1,300.
So one person, his record was a visit of 1,300 homes. More than 1,300 homes a day for 1 week.
A day, not 1 month.
Not 1 month, but 1 day. So the 400 people multiply that. That's 400,000 homes, which covers 1 million people. This is what we did.
그 노동도 가서 교회 가가지고 말이야 전화 딱 하고 가다가 오늘 아침에 새벽 일어나가지고 아무 교회 전부 다 이런 물건에 가서 사람 갑니다. 딱딱딱딱 한 100거 해놓고 가자. 나 기다렸어 며칠. 빵빵 저기서부터 3번 사이렌 날 테니까 말이야. 크래셔 때 빵빵빵 들리는 듯 나와서 그다음 문에다가 들어가긴 못 들어가. 뛰는 거야.
In making delivery with one truck, don't do it in a conventional American way, where go on and knock and everything. you simply will not have time. Make a arrangement. Call up telephone. One person will call up all telephone. Give the approximate time and you'll be in. But when you get in there, then you just blow a big horn and expect to come out him and just drop them off and move to the next place. Just go there and say greetings and make sure why you came and all of this will take
내가
too
오늘
much time.
120교회 200교회를 이렇게 논아줘야 돼요.
You plead to them. You just you plead to them that you have 200 churches to
그래
cover.
목사 부인 목사 아들 따라서 나오라 가서.
You cannot
그래가 나 칠해놓는 거야.
you cannot take all the normal time because you cannot cover even 20 churches that way. 200. So you ask them to. So if they have their sons and daughters who are free, ask them to send them over to for help.
그 다음에 갈 때는 그 다음에 갈 때는 저 멀리서 사이렌 세 번만 울리게 되면 어느 교회에서 찾아올 때 한번 나와서 그 지나갈 때가 기다려서 그렇게 얘기하는 거야.
Do this every time, and every time you become the more terrible. Then as days go on, then you blow a horn from the distance. They will know you're there.
그럼 이렇게 가는 앞에 전부 다 수두룩이 나거든. 그러면 갔다가 다 끊쳐. 너 손으로 할 때는 깨졌으면 깨지면 되네. 자기들 붙어서 다 나눠줘야 돼.
And by the time you're accustomed to that, don't unload it gently like that. Sometimes you just kick it, kick it unload.
내가 오늘 200곳을 가는 300개 가는 시간 없다고.
They will protest that to you, but then you simply tell them you don't have time because you have 200 churches to cover.
이러대.
And then
How can you lose time?
without waiting answer, drive home.
Right way. True. Okay? Goodbye. Simple way. Really time? 그게 레버런 문수야. 네, 뭐 유니피케이션. 네, 레버런 문수야. Don't you like that kind of way? Yes. You are money. Resemble me. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes. 자, 그래서 몇 교회야? 트럭 한 달씩은 몇 교회 나가질 것 같아.
So in your situation,
그래서 이제부터 나 500교회 가갔어! 트럭 주사하는 사람은 그거 주문하면 몇 교회 많이 가갔다는 사람부터 수반 넣어줘. 그래서
how many churches do you think you can cover
트럭을 배당하는
one day with your truck in your area? How many churches do you think you can deliver?
지금 이제 트럭 나가질 걸 정하는 거야.
So 250 trucks don't come in one day. It comes by steps. So the first the group of trucks, Father has to decide the priority. So if you're determined to distribute 500 churches, like you said, then he will be in the first category. While the some will bid higher, I'll do that 600 churches, then he will get the truck.
자, 앉아놓고 해먹었던 시간 지나갔다.
So instead of you, Father, I don't particularly care, so whenever the truck comes, please give it to me. That kind of day is gone. That way, we can never sustain Christian unity. We have to compete each other as to who delivers more.
30만 교회, 이 30만 교회 잘못해. 28만, 20, 그 수도 확실히 잘 모르고 그렇게 하는 거야. 30만 교회 안 돼.
So roughly about 300,000 churches. We don't know exactly how much approximately it comes to.
John, do you have any idea?
Some has any idea?
I left you the chart and I don't remember it.
Maybe 280.
200,000 churches, then you simply divide it up in 350. 250.
No, almost 280.
280. Yeah. So it's like 1,000 churches, and then roughly 800 to 1,000 churches. We have to study how we can cover these churches.
그러면 이제 NCC에서 논아주는데 그다음에 여기 지금 교회 책임자들 주 책임자들 당무가 좀 곤란할 거라.
And NCCSA activity will become this intense, and if the state leader, the father expects the state leader, the one who is responsible in that area, visit all these churches in the follow-up event, follow-up visits. Talk to them.
그거마다 가서 그 전부 다 주체가
Some state leaders say, "Oh, Father, I couldn't do it." Then he no longer should be in that position.
꼴레미들 뭐라 자기 꼴레미들 뭐라 죽여야지.
Well, we have to compete to invigorate
자,
us.
그렇게 해서라도 미국을 구해야 되겠나? 미국이 이 늙은 이름을 성장 때까지 해야 되겠나?
Of course, this may be ridiculous, but do we rather do this and save America or American churches, or just let them be like old-aged, withered churches, which will not amount to anything in the near future? We have a choice: either just leave them alone, or we have to rejuvenate them. We have to have a choice. Now is the only time. If we cannot do that, 10 years later we can do that. That doesn't go. Got to do it now, or we'll never be able to do it. It's one chance, one shot, one chance.
자, 여기 신학교 졸업한 사람들 뭐 주체님들 자기가 이제 SL 운전토록 해가지고 가르쳐주고 그렇게 하겠다고 결정했지.
So can Father take it? It's you have already agreed that all the seminary students does not mind. You do not mind to drive your truck yourself. No. Just to show the example to your own following members.
배워주라고.
Tell them what kind of heart you have to drive truck with. Teach everything that you know.
내가 가보고 내가 이제 감옥에 안 가자면 돌아다니면서 전부 다가 희곡문에 이제 좀 다 붙여낸다.
If Father is allowed out of prison, the Father will just get at you, get after you, and see how actually meaningfully you do.
선생님이 얼마나 추적을 뭐 이거 250대에 10배까지만 내면 안 돼. 미국 사람. 5,000명 운전수도 사람씩 5,000명
250 trucks Father is planning now. If Father tenfold this number, 10 times this number, 2,500 trucks, then it's more than enough to cover the entire the dissemination.
그게 말이야. 절반은 일할 것이 넓기 때문에 그렇게 되면 운수회사, 투력회사가 생긴다. 알았어?
When you finish your day's work and you still have some time left, we can divert this maybe to a transportation business company, truck company.
그러면 친들은 교회 사람, 뭐 회사 전부 다 우리 발표되어 있기 때문에 어느 지금 기성회사 사람 전부 다 운수회사 받아먹는데 전부 다 우리 저쪽으로 하더라고요.
We can deliver. We can deliver to the doorsteps, more courageous and less money, and we can utilize many volunteers to do this job.
무슨 만들어서? 그 미국을 내가 하나님의 받치면 좋지.
Well, if we bring America thus into unity and dedicate this God, who would be objecting? Who will say that's not fair, Reverend Moon? Who will say that?
너들이 못하니까 할 수 없다.
So long as everything goes to God.
아메리칸이 못하니까 할 수 없어.
Since Americans could not do that even after teaching, that's why Father started doing it.
아이고 이 욕심쟁이들, 아이고 저거 정말 그러면 아이고 아프리카 가서 내가 나라를 봤다 이런 데 버린다고 그래.
And since America
아메리카는 too much greedy, you know?
greedy, so they will miss the boat. Then when everything is done, they say, "Oh, Father, please give me the second chance. I'll do it in Africa."
내 쪽, 어디?
And all the position people will be chased out to Africa and do that.
어때? 그거 싫지도.
Of course, you don't like to do that. You like to do that here in America, don't you?
그것도 레버런 문이 하라고?
Then you say, "Oh, Father, I can't do that." Then that means Father has to do that all over again.
응? 그게 미국식이야.
Is that American way? That in the beginning you don't know how to do it, so you didn't do it. Later you knew how to do it, but you don't want to do it, so you don't do it. So is that American way? No.
그런 일은 있을 수 없다고.
No. So
그러니까
So we better tackle this headlong. This
너들은 이제 선생님이 뭐 하는 걸 알지? 선생님 해주는 걸 알지?
By this time, you know what father does, don't you? And you know how father does, don't you?
Yes.
How does he do? Like a lightning, doesn't he? He does everything like lightning.
그렇다면 망타물하니까 아니야.
But he doesn't do it whimsically. No, father just does it speedily.
그런 너들이 앞으로 여기 있는 사람이 국회 안 가려고 때려 몰아서 국회 쪽 도망가다가 간다고 도망가다고 그저 피난 가다 보니 국회 상원 이런 자리에 올라가고 말이야. 하원 자리에 올라간다. 도망가다 보니 이렇게 가는.
Like father told us over and over again, we do this and care nothing else. We just keep on doing this for some years. And then some of you don't want to run for Congress, so you run away from Congress. But you will surely find yourself in the Congress, whether you like it or not. Because people will never let you alone. People will make you the congressman or the senator.
자, 그럼 미국이 망하겠나?
If so, would America, by that time, would America perish?
어떻게 됐어?
It's on the contrary.
내가 뭐 미국 대통령 내가 이렇게 해서 미국 대통령 해볼 갔나? 미국 대통령은 여기서는 못해.
Like Reverend Moon, would Reverend Moon like to run for a president himself here in America? He's not even a citizen. Non-citizen here in America cannot be a
상원을
president.
해보려도 9년 이상 시티즌이 되셔야 돼. 난 시티즌 아무도 없다.
There cannot be a senator in America, or cannot even be a congressman.
9년 이상 돼. 9년 이상.
It takes 9 years of naturalized citizen to qualify as a senator, to become a congressman.
응?
So what does father want here in America?
너들 그런 사람한테 미국을 얼마나 쓰고 미국 하나 이 문제라고 미국.
Father will tell what father wants. Father wants all of our Unification Church members be like father, and father wants America take the responsibility, successful responsibility over the world.
선생님같이 주는 미국이 돼야 산다는 거야 이게. 내가 미국에 가서 주고 전부 다 이래가 주는 노릇을 교육해가지고 미국이 주지 않게 되면 했다는 거야. 양키고 하면 그런 거 아니야. 이렇게 주는 노릇하는 너들이 전부 다 앞으로에서 세계를 위한 미국의 축복을 영원히 만민과 더불어 같이 즐길 수 있기 때문에 이런 노릇을 안 하고 가르쳐주는 거야.
Simply stated, America is hated by pretty much by all over the world because they refuse to give. If they changed even today and started giving away, immediately nobody will blame America. Everybody will love Americans. This is exactly what
미국이
father
주것이
is
뭐야?
talking about.
개인주의를 미국한테 주니까 망하는 거야. 프리섹스 이거 전부 다 부패하는 이거 전부 다 주니 망하는 거야. 전부 다 미국 사람 어떻게 하는 거야 전부.
The American people may be willing to give individualism to others, and they like to disseminate the fashions of free sexes. Not this way. That's why America is coming down. That's why they are hated. But genuinely, they give what they feel precious. Like father has been always doing all father's life. This is our way of teaching America. Teaching America what is wrong with them and what they should do about that. It's simply give up this selfishness, give up this individualism, and be generous and be whole. And that's what father is teaching.
자, 여기 서서만 돼.
Do you understand?
자, 이제부터는 결정하자. 하루에 몇 교회 나눠줄 거야. 자,
So let's be more concrete in our resolution. How many churches are you willing to cover in delivery? How many churches?
이거 두고 쓰고 쓰면 되지.
Maybe
곽정원도 아메리칸 아니었다.
the three and even Reverend Cook has fast Americanizing nowadays. His figure was so-called the real figure.
잠깐만 하나 둘 셋.
He was talking about the numbers of 3 or 4, maybe 5. He was talking about like that.
난 그 20배, 30배
Whereas
생각하는데.
father was thinking, first father thought about 300, then father reconciled at 200. But father would never budge under 150. Just 30 times his number.
자, 그러면 어떻게 되나? 미국이 빨리 잘 돼갔나? 빨리 망하갔나?
When that happens, would it help America or would it hurt America? Would America
나는 이제 미국 사람이란데 말이야. 미국에서 외국 사람이나 이렇게 생각하는데 또 미국 사람은 내 3배쯤이야. 또 생각할 거 아니야, 그냥.
Father is even a foreigner, and then that much zeal, that much enthusiasm father is showing. In America, you as an American, you gotta get more excited than father, at least.
몇 배나 할 거야?
So how many churches are going to cover?
At least.
At least that.
300.